UFO filmmaker James Fox, with such hits as The Phenomenon and Moment of Contact, has a brand new documentary coming out this summer. It's titled The Program. It's another deep dive into the UFO topic, and I can't wait for that documentary to come out. Now, he just tweeted out a screenshot of a whistleblower that's going to be featured in this documentary. We're going to take a closer look at that and who this person is. I've also got another clip from the documentary that he released on Twitter that kind of showcases, again, a little bit more about what to expect in this documentary. So let's dive in, y'all. Basically, some great updates for James Fox's new documentary. If you're new to the channel, y'all, and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. We put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. Please hit that like button, vetters. That really helps out the videos. So thank y'all so much for the support there. And of course, comment down below. What do you think about this military ex-person who's featured, this whistleblower, and this new clip that I showed? Rather interesting. Let's dive in. All right, first thing we're going to do is, first thing I'm going to say is watch out if you're watching that eclipse today. That's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, let's dive in. Here it is. This is the tweet. Unlike April Fools, this individual is real and will be featured in the program. Again, that's the title of the new documentary coming out later this summer. For the first time, will be featured in the program for the first time regarding certain legacy programs. Okay. And again, what he means by legacy is crash retrieval or reverse engineering. I don't know if they're separate programs or one together, connected. But this person that you could see in the hallway here is someone who knows about it, right? And underneath here, again, this is going to be included in the documentary. All right, just text overlay. He says, provided he's given amnesty, Military X is willing to testify under oath in open congressional hearings. So as long as he's giving amnesty, he's willing to testify under oath publicly, right? Hang on. Watch. Let's take a closer look at this gentleman here. There he is, right there. This guy right here is one of these people that has worked on these legacy programs. And clearly he's walking around in public, so, pardon me, these people are seeing him, right? So it's interesting. Who is this guy? Have we seen him before? Has he been there the whole time, just right under our noses, like Kaiser Soze? Right? Just right there the whole time. I don't know. Find it fascinating, right? And how many more whistleblowers in this documentary are going to be included? I know for a fact several, more than one, right? Now, to what extent, right? What kind of information does Military X, this person right here, have about the legacy programs? Now, I'm not saying this means anything, but if you look at this tweet right here, James uses first instead of writing out the word first. Now, again, people are going to be like, oh, what? It's not a big deal. I know. But it could be a hint that it's a first-hand whistleblower. Okay? Someone who has touched the craft, seen the bodies, touched the bodies, something like that. Now, again, first-hand knowledge is kind of complicated in this topic, right? Because it's hard to define that. Everyone defines it differently, to be honest with you. So it's hard to tell what exactly that could even mean. But I find this interesting, right? What do y'all think in the comments? I'm excited to read what everyone's going to think, you know. Who is this person? And again, what is he going to testify to exactly? What does he know about these programs? And if he's asking for amnesty, it's probably something that he fears could get him in trouble, right? Not just necessarily for talking about it, but maybe for things he's had to do to keep it a secret, right? And he wants to make sure, hey, nothing's going to happen to me. Now, these are the halls of Congress, I believe, right? Just based off things I've seen, right? Well, let's take a closer look at the picture here. Now, if you determine from the door height, if anybody knows that door height, you can kind of determine, because look where he's standing, right next to these people, clearly going in to talk to them or something and say hi. But however the door height is, right, he's this tall. And he kind of looks like he doesn't have a full head of hair, but that could be just the way the picture is. Kind of bald in the back, maybe. Right? Kind of looks like 5'8", 5'7", somewhere in that range. Clearly wearing a suit. Is he X? It says military X. That's a giveaway, right? So now we know he's military. Is he current military? Former military? Right? Again, is this somebody we already know of? I do know that whistleblowers coming out in this documentary are people we have not heard from before. I do know that. Is this one of them? I would imagine so. It's probably somebody that's been walking around. You might find him in the background of pictures or videos or something, but, you know, you've never actually heard from him because clearly he wants amnesty. Before he's willing to talk, he wants amnesty. So that means he's going to be included in this documentary, kind of covered up, I would imagine. They're going to distort his voice, probably put him in a shadow, right? Clearly they're showing him like this, no problem, right? So is this where the interview took place with James? That's why he's here? Or this was like B-roll, they followed him, right? But then did the interview somewhere else because this is where he works? Or James invited him there? Were they meeting with more people? Right? Again, does he work here? Is this part of it? Right? Again, or is he just here to film the part of the documentary? That's what's interesting. Has this person testified to ERA? Not that that matters, but just saying. What have they told their story other than to James Fox? You know, that's interesting. I'm curious, man. I cannot wait to see this documentary. Look, let's get to the clip that I have. Okay. Right here, you see James Fox tweeted out March 26. I finished a rough cut of the program today. 139 sizzling minutes without the credits. Y'all, that is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay. And I read that he put that all the scenes that couldn't fit in the documentary, he's going to be mixing into the credits. So we won't miss anything. So the credits are going to be like 10 minutes long because he's going to cut in those deleted scenes, if you will. So this is going to be 3 hours, roughly, right? It's going to be a phenomenal documentary, probably his most intensive work to date, right? But he says right here, my old partner, the finisher, arrives tonight, and we will put the final touches on over the next 2 months and maybe adding another brief interview. But if we go further, we've got another clip. And he says right here, it's unbelievable to me how little attention mainstream media is paying to this topic. I mean, I think he means paying attention to this topic. Right? So let's play this clip here. And you can clearly see he's, you know, James edits it himself.
Let's increase transparency on UAPs by
Let me go back. Let's read that. It says, in July 2023, United States Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds co-sponsored the UAP Disclosure Act.
Let's increase transparency on UAPs by using a model that works.
The UAP Disclosure Act was closely modeled on the JFK Records Act.
For the first time, the National Archives will gather records from across the federal government on UAPs and have a legal mandate to release those records to the public if appropriate. This is a major, major win for government transparency on UAPs, and it gives us a strong foundation for more action in the future.
And a requirement as a transparency measure for the government to obtain any recovered UAP material or biological remains that may have been provided to private entities in the past and thereby hidden from Congress and the American people. We are lacking oversight opportunities and we are not fulfilling our responsibilities.
Again, I thank my colleague and pledge to work with him and other bipartisan colleagues in the future to build upon what we've achieved in the conference report. We encourage our colleagues to join us in the further investigation of this issue and in advancing legislation that will complete what we have accomplished in this NDAA. And I yield the floor.
The following individual has secretly testified to the Senate and House Intelligence committees. This is the first time going on camera to discuss the unclassified portion of those meetings. God, I just screwed that all up. This is the first time going on camera to discuss. Oh, he's got a typo there. Look at that. Discuss. He means discuss the unclassified portion of those meetings. I wonder if I should put a comment in there that there's a typo. I'm sure he'll see that. So let me keep this clip going. So I'm assuming, right, he's talking about that guy, right? That guy right there. I don't know. So maybe they have testified, right, secretly, but now they're going to go on camera publicly. Again, who is this person? We're going to have new names by the end when this comes out, right? New people to think about, talk about, discuss, you know. So, I don't know. What do y'all think? You know, I find it interesting, this journey to quote-unquote disclosure, right? I'm going back and forth on, like, the government being involved, right? It's kind of interesting. So, I don't know. Just kind of waiting to see what happens, essentially. With this kind of stuff, right? Because there's just supposed to be all these whistleblowers coming out. I mean, Danny Sheehan had said 40 whistleblowers were coming out by the end of the year. None have come out. It's April. Are they all just going to pop out at the same time? When is this happening? You know, you have people like Curt Jaimungal. I did a video about him recently, and he has decided to step away from the UFO community for a minute, right? Because of this, because of the promises of disclosure, and it's just around the corner, and breadcrumbing out, right? And honestly, the response on Twitter to Curt leaving was quite telling. Some people were just like, you didn't do anything anyway. See ya. Honestly, I was surprised by some people's responses that I read their stuff on Twitter. I was very surprised by the response of just basically telling Curt to F off. Like, what? Are we great? Like, what are we talking about? Or he's not strong enough. He's weak. He's, you know. I'm going to tell you this right now for whoever is listening or watching. You are not weak if you want to take a break from this. You are not weak if you question this. You are not weak if you're skeptical. You are not weak if you go back and forth on this every day. You are not weak if some days are harder than others and you just don't feel like you can handle it. And you are not weak if you're getting tired of promises that don't come to fruition. You are not weak when you're told evidence is coming and never does. You are not weak, right, when information is being hidden and you're fed up with that and don't want to deal with it anymore. That does not make you weak, in my opinion. So for Curt and people like Curt that want to step away, I totally understand. You do you. It's everybody's journey to take, right, along this path. And I can understand why some people get upset about the disclosure and all that. Like, I totally get Curt's point, you know. Well, look at the video that I made a few days ago. The same comment that's floating around on Twitter is in that video, right? Remember, Curt came to our live chat. He answered questions. You know, it kind of exploded after that. After that video went out, he went online and, you know, he's out. He's taking a break, you know, and he's not the only one, right? Again, a lot of us, if you follow this topic pretty much every day, like I do, disclosure from the government is becoming like this oxymoron. Again, that's why vetted, again, we're always going to cover what's going on. I don't decide what's going on. So I'm going to just cover what's going on. It's not my decision, right? It's whatever's out there public. And we'll continue to report on it. No problem. But I got to be honest, personally, my focus is definitely on people's stories, people's experiences, cold cases, going back in time and looking at things, talking about consciousness, how that relates to the phenomena, right? Focusing on just different videos, right, that are out there. I want to start doing more of that. And of course, again, we're always going to be commenting on this stuff, but it kind of loses its steam because there's only so much. Well, it's coming. Just wait. It's just around the corner. I promise you. Whistleblowers are coming out, right? But again, firsthand knowledge is misinterpreted. No one has the same definition of this, and I've proven that myself privately, talking to people behind the scenes. No one thinks the same thing about it. So therefore, when someone says firsthand knowledge, they don't know. You don't know what they mean, right? Because they don't finish the sentence. Firsthand knowledge to what? To a video, to UFO, to being handed documents, to seeing an exchange, hearing a story, right? You don't know what their firsthand knowledge is. So for me, I just don't even care about that term anymore. But there's only so far we can go. We got to start hearing from people that worked on the craft, touched the bodies. Those are the only people we need to hear from right now. Then we can start hearing from other people, in my opinion. Again, I don't control any of this, so this is just what I'm saying I would like to see. And I'm sure many of you agree. And maybe some of you don't, But you do you. If you're, upset and fed up with it, I get it. That's why I'm going to cover more different things on Vetted as well. Because that's there's something happening, right? There's some sort of phenomena, right? So that's what I want to focus on. What do I need the government and the disclosure from our own government to discuss it or talk about, right? I don't need to know. They don't need to tell me anything. If it comes out, cool. We'll be covering it. We'll be looking at it. And any updates, absolutely. But we need to hear from people that have worked on this stuff. Enough of, well, I know documents. I know these things happen. Well, this guy told me who I really trust. Okay. What does that do for the rest of us? Right? We're going to have to hear from people that have seen it. So let's hope that this guy right here, let's hope he's seen it. Let's hope he's put his hand on the craft. Because otherwise, what is going to be the point of the testimony? It's going to be intriguing no matter what James Fox puts out. Let's be real. We're going to learn some stuff. This is going to be super intriguing. And it's going to help the general public understand where we are as well. Kind of sum up everything that's happened, over the last couple of years with disclosure through the American government, right? So it is going to be beneficial. It is going to be great. But eventually, to move the needle, we do need more people coming out, not stories, not empty promises, empty declarations. I get it, right? I get people's frustrations. I get why people want to step away. I get why podcasters want to step away, creators want to step away. I have nothing against them if that's what they want to do. I don't think they're weak. I think Curt has provided a great service to the community and what he's done, the interviews he's done. I asked Curt privately in a Twitter message, hey, man, did my video upset you that I made? And he said, no, not at all. So I hope that's true, because I mean no disrespect. I respect Curt and what he does and what he provides to the community. And, my thing with all content creators, do you. You know what's best for your channel and what to put up. Not here to criticize that. The people making claims, that's different. Right? Again, they want taxpayer money to go towards this. So we get to say something. We get to talk about it. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. But people like Curt, yeah, man, he has provided a service to the community. He does great interviews. He's a smart guy. He's nice. I don't understand what people's problem is with that guy, to be honest with you. It baffles me. If people can be mad at somebody like Curt, it's just what is going on? And again, for people to come out and be vulnerable and talk about how they feel about something and then just to get shot down and made to feel like an idiot. Again, seeing some of people's responses on Twitter of well, screw you, Curt, you didn't do anything anyway, you're weak, you should have interviewed me, you should have that. That I can understand. Like, hey, man, I get your frustration. You should focus on this, right? Offering some advice. I saw some tweets like that, and I can respect that, to be honest, you know. Offering, hey, man, maybe you should have looked at this. Okay. But, like, I get why he's frustrated. And maybe people making videos like I did of Curt, right? Focusing on certain things that are said. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, guys? All I know is I'm going to watch the eclipse. So, anyway. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's going to be exciting. There is definitely some stuff to talk about. So, all right, y'all. See you on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day is a gift.